Hello everyone, Chocolo Roberto here for another video review, this time with the Milka Choco Dessert Raspberry Jelly. Or Raspberry Jaffa Cakes, you and me. Yes, this is Milka's own sort of take on the Jaffa Cake. So, as you don't know, well basically a Jaffa Cake is typically that sort of thing. Like a sort of cake with a sort of jelly centre covered in, with the top half covered in milk chocolate. In this case it's raspberry jelly. Normally it's dark chocolate though. The usual ones, the typical ones, the traditional ones maybe, at least the ones I've always seen grown up with, have dark chocolate, but this one's got Milka's Milka chocolate on it. Now, normally on Milka products they always say 100% alpine milk chocolate on it. And you have it in this bottom, as you look at it, bottom left corner here. So I'll show you this chocolate bar. Yes, it has it there, 100% alpine milk chocolate. And you have them on all of their products that I've seen, their milk chocolate products at least anyway. But not on this one. Yeah, but nonetheless, it does say on the side. It's not an English product. It has an English translation of the ingredients here. But even then, it does say fine bakery product, soft cookie with jelly filling with raspberry flavour, 52%, covered with alpine milk chocolate, 15%. So it does have alpine milk chocolate on it, but for some reason they've just not promoted it like they normally do, and it's a bit unusual for these kind of no nonsense descriptions to say something they don't need to. So yeah. I think it's a Slovenian product or something. It's got what appears to be SL on the country code. Not sure if that's Slovenia or not, I don't know, but yeah, so I've reviewed quite a few Jaffa Cakes before, so yes, well, basically, speaking of, I've done loads of reviews, I'm about 670 or something like that now, it's ridiculous really. But in the top left corner there'll be a place to all of them, so after you've liked this video and subscribed to my channel, huge appreciated if you could. Please check that out, check out my old movie reviews, and I'll put a place to all my Jaffa Cake reviews up there as well. And if you're in a position to do so, I do have a YouTube member program going on and a Patreon. So YouTube member program going on, basically you can get basic access to exclusive videos really. So all of the reviews that I wouldn't normally do, so crisps, ice cream, chocolate spreads, things like this. So check that out, please give it a glance. Hopefully it's something that will be interesting to you. So it would hugely help out the channel and you get something back as well. Okay, well, back onto the review. So very interested in this one, yeah, very interested. So you can see it's clearly a raspberry flavour here. So I did review the orange one just previous to this, or just prior to this. You can see the nice difference in the skyline there, like the typical Milka products where they have skies changes above the Alps. Based on the colours, this chocolate bar for instance got like a blue one here. You can see the sun. I don't really see the sun coming up actually, so yeah, it's quite an interesting one. So it's literally like a sunrise on this one. So it's perhaps, yeah, feels it represents the jelly, but the red represents the jelly, so we're the sphericalness of it. We've got the Milka cow as well, of course. At one point I thought the others changed colour as well when I was reviewing a white chocolate one, but on the wrapping, so it'd be red in this case, but they don't. Yeah, okay, so what have we got calorie wise? Let's have a see. Yeah, so per Jaffa Cake, and there's 10 of them in a pack apparently, it's 53 calories, 1 gram of fat, 0.5 of which is saturates. And I think it's 52 in the Jaffa. No, 53, so it's exactly the same as the orange ones as well, as far as those things. Yeah, it seems to be identical. Oh, in fact, actually, I think it's salt, I'm not sure, it's slightly more in the, it's like 0.01 gram more in each Jaffa Cake, in the orange one. Other than that, I think everything's pretty much identical. Well, both labels have 53 calories, but the energy, the kilojoules, is slightly different, like slightly more. 222 in the Mondelez one per Jaffa Cake, 225 in the orange one. So that's that's kilojoules, not calories. Calories is 53 in each. So there's obviously a slight difference that they've rounded up or rounded down or whatever. Okay, well that's quite nice. Yeah, I quite like it. I like the purple. I like the sort of the redness there. We should give it open now. Let's do it. Let's give it an open. Okay, I want to give these Milka Choco Desserts Raspberry Jellies an open, or Raspberry Jaffa Cakes for everyone else. So basically they've got they're a trade product, by which I mean there's a tray in here. So you've got flourishes and you've got a tray, and then you've got the product itself. And basically when I was doing the orange ones, I measured the red width for this, it was about 21 centimetres without, you know, I wasn't stretching it ridiculously so, excuse me. But it's about 21 centimetres. But then basically the tray itself was so much, and then the actual Jaffa Cakes themselves are about 13. So you're losing about, you know, so it's basically almost 50% again, basically, what you could have. Let's open them and find out. Yeah, so you can see here. So you see the tray itself comes to about 17 centimetres. The Jaffa Cakes, no, there's 10 there, so that's quite nice. The Jaffa don't quite fill it either. Let's see, maybe I was giving a bit of a. See, you can't really, you know, they've got to, you've got to hold them up really. So let's see. Yeah, about 13 and a half actually. But just of it is, half of that is 7 essentially, or 6. Well, yeah, 6.5. Almost 7, isn't it? Let's just say 7 for easiness, which bumps it up to 20 and a half centimetres, and the actual whole thing was 21, we said. So yeah, basically you could fit another 5 Jaffa Cakes from where these end, which is there. Could fit another one in the tray really, to that point there. So it's 5 more Jaffa Cakes essentially. Yeah, so there we go. So if I take these out, not damage them too much. So you could fit an extra one in there. So you can see, yeah, basically 5 more Jaffa Cakes. So which is a bit bad, really, I think. Okay, so let's have a look at them then. So here we go. Here's one. Yeah, so there we go. So that's what they look like. So this one's not very, what's the word? Symmetrical, but the inside's been offset to the left a bit or the right, depending on where you look at it. Some of them are a bit more in the middle, but they're generally, yeah. So let's see on. Let's have a look. So the width of these, about 5.5 centimetres, maybe 5.4 maybe. The diameter. The diameter of the actual jelly top is about 4 centimetres roughly, and the height of them about 1.3. So they look very nice. So the distinct difference here is there's 2 actually. There's one is slightly less baked than the McVitie's version. So you can see it's a bit lighter. And also it's yeah, milk chocolate. So yeah, very different. So it's different again for sure. So interesting. Let's give it a cut in half. Definitely still has a crackly top. Yeah, you can see they're very red. Very dark there. Hard to tell, of course. You can see slightly, even on that top where the chocolate's come off a bit. Let's kind of see if we can dissect it slightly. But it does look very red, actually, at least in the light I've got. See? There we go. So yeah, hopefully you can see that it's coming through. It's very red. Yeah. It's very nice. And I'd say quite a crackly, thin layer of chocolate, I think you'd say. Definitely quite thin. You can see that. But definitely very red. So if I take that off, yeah, look at that, wow. Yeah, it's really, I mean, hopefully you can see that, but it's really red. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, I didn't really get much of a smell from these when I opened them. There is a smell there, though. It's quite a, is a sort of, yeah. I guess you'd say raspberry. More like a raspberry jelly smell rather than raspberry itself, I guess, but it's still nice. The cake, yeah, a bit softer, as I say. So, I think the regular, what they call McVitie's ones do bend a bit, but it definitely seems to be a bit softer, these ones. All right, well, very excited for these. Yeah, I think we should give them a taste. Let's do it. Let's give them a taste. Okay, let's give these Milka Choco desserts raspberry jelly, well, basically Jaffa Cakes, a taste. Yeah, so, got a nice full one here, so yeah. Right, let's do it. That's very, wow, that's quite bigger than normal, this one actually. It's, yeah, I thought they were all quite kind of uniform, but this one here, I was about to say, looks a bit bigger than this one actually. Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, must be a mistake. Let's do it. Let's give it a taste. A nice taste, quite a bit more subtle than regular Jaffa Cake. I think whenever you have the raspberry ones or other flavours than the orange one, they always taste a bit more subtle. Definitely, again, a sweetness from the milk chocolate. And the base is definitely softer than the regular McVitie's one as well. An interesting one, really. So we've got some samples of the chocolate here. It's very thin. It is definitely sweet though, unlike the sort of the dark chocolates on the regular ones. You know, yeah. It definitely does provide a difference for sure. We've got the half of the jelly here, so I'm just going to have that see how sort of red it is. Hopefully you can anyway. See what it tastes. Quite a subtle taste. Yeah, it's definitely not as strong as the regular sort of orange one. And the sponge as well. Definitely less dry than the regular one as well. By which I mean regular in this case, the McVitie's one. The sort of orange, the raspberry jelly is less sort of distinct than the orange jelly. But yeah, quite nice really. I think it's basically they're not bad. I think they're I think the raspberry flavour is just not quite as good as the orange one. I've got the orange one here. Give it a taste. Yeah. The orange one has more of a fresh flavour to it. The raspberry one's more of it's got more of a subtle flavour. Yeah. It's not quite as good, I don't think. It's still nice though, but it's just not quite as good. I think that's always been the case with Jaffa Cakes. Any non-orange flavour just never quite works as well as the orange flavour. I don't know why that is. They're still nice though, but they're just never quite as... they're less tangy, they just don't work as well. I think these ones as well, they're pretty nice as well generally. The milk chocolate's good. It's definitely sweeter than the dark chocolate, and it does make a difference. And the fact that the base is baked less than the McVitie's ones definitely makes a slight difference as well. It just makes it sort of less, let's say, less dry. But I think the regular McVitie's ones just are nicer generally. I think they're just a dark chocolate. Just works better really. And even the base, I think, just being a slightly longer baked or whatever, just seems to give it more of a... just all the textures and tastes just seems to work better. But it is close though, it's not massively... I think the main difference is the milk chocolate really. And I think the dark chocolate does just work better. It's just very sweet. You can definitely taste the difference in the sweetness. I say, nonetheless, it is nice. Just quite sweet. I think you get the sweetness from the centre of the jelly really. You don't need it from the milk chocolate as well. And I think that's why the dark chocolate works quite well really. It just adds a different sort of rich taste to it, and it's quite subtle. But it's only thin anyway. And and the regular ones, but the milk ones, the McVitie's ones, but I say these sort of milk ones and the milk chocolate ones, it just gives it a bit more of a sweetness to it. Well, I can see some people preferring that. I think generally the dark chocolate accompanies it a lot better than the milk chocolate. Yes, these ones just aren't quite as good as the orange ones. Basically, it's very close, but they're just not. The flavour's just not quite the same. I do quite like them though. I think these ones are more close to becoming sort of 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to still give them a 4 out of 5. But it's just not as good as the milk orange ones, which in turn I don't think are as good as the regular Jaffa Cakes. I say that lack of dark chocolate and the sponge just being slightly softer. I don't know. It just all detracts marginally from the main things, but I think more so the milk chocolate. I think, but obviously, if you really don't like the dark chocolate, I think the milk chocolate being here was definitely will make Jaffa Cakes accessible to you. But I think just generally, I think it's just not quite as interesting a product without the dark chocolate. Let's put it that way. I think, and I think the fact as well in this tray, you could basically what you get in the packet. Sort of the size difference between it and what's missing in the tray and things like this basically means you could get 50% more Jaffa Cakes number 5 in the pack for the size you're being shown. I think it's a bit ridiculous as well, but I'm not going to mark it down because of that, because I think it's quite difficult really. It says you've got 10 Jaffa Cakes on it, and I think you kind of know what that is really, but I don't know. It's a minefield really, to be honest with you. But I'm just going to make it there for awareness rather than to actually reduce the score on it. But obviously feel free to dock it half a mark as well if you want to for that, and it's very tempting to do so really. But I think if it's a single chocolate bar with massive flourishes, that's when I'm going to do it really, because you're buying a product and it just isn't what you expect it to, whereas this one, it's 10 Jaffa Cakes And it's kind of just different layers to the packaging, and it's a pain really, and it still is not on. But I think I'm not going to duck it marks for this one, just because I don't think it's quite as bad, even though it technically is in the area that's missing. I think it's just one of those biscuit products that just comes in that kind of container, and it's just the way it is, unfortunately. But anyway, there we go. Yeah, so you're aware of it either way, so you can make your own decisions based on that. But yeah, 4 out of 5 for me, but it's quite a low 4 out of 5, this one, bordering on a 3.5. But I'm going to, as I say, it's still a nice product, still interesting, still nice to look at, and still a bit different. So 4 out of 5. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well if you can. And if you're in a position to do so, as I say, please check out my Patreon and my YouTube member program as well. YouTube member program, as I say, will give you exclusive videos, something of interest, ice creams, chocolate spreads, things like this. Check it out. It really helped me out. It really would. And obviously, you'd still get something back as well. So it's not a whole one-way thing. Okay, thanks, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye for now. See ya.